Now, with this understanding of the heart's purpose to the body, how does the heart serve the collective consciousness, the higher consciousness? Well, we know because the state of love, the heart brings truth, that enjoyment will be felt in the mind and body as you produce actions entwined with work and love, loving what you work. You do what you love, you get more payment by doing it than anything anybody could pay you. So once people start paying you to do what you love, you're just getting paid like from the collective because you're doing what you love. You've already been paid doing what you love. You love that. But love has a much greater purpose. The heart has a much greater purpose. It can't only use love either. It needs several of its strong energies to be doing its purpose. And the heart purpose is to balance and bring love to the collective consciousness. Okay? Bringing love, that's number one. But also balance. Bringing balance. For that you need empathy. For that you need compassion. For that you need forgiveness. You need to go down to where those people who are in fear are hurting and offer them forgiveness, offer them empathy, offer them compassion, and allow them to start to get some joy and then maybe some hope into their lives. And that is the purpose of the heart, is to serve the collective, highest most, serve it with love, but with such a consciousness knowing that other states of being and other beings require different levels of what they can get out of this union and what they can release when the union is over. Maybe that fear, that hate, that depression, that anxiety. So your heart is like your super self on planet Earth. Now, once your heart has been developed, and you can start on this physical reality, because this is where we are detained. Whatever your spiritual beliefs are, wherever you spiritually feel you have come from, you are now inside a human body on Earth, programmed exactly how our planet is right now. And it's a scary planet that's getting a lot better. But we can't forget that here we are for the rest of our lives. Because I think a lot of people, when the 2012 thing happened and all the starseed things happened, I'm not saying these things were wrong, they happened. We hit a serious alignment on 2012 that activated this whole 12-year potential evolution. And there are beings from other spirits. Can't say beings because it becomes a being when the spirit mixes with the mind, body, heart, collective, higher collective, human collective, global collective. And then the being that understands it's just a tiny piece of a global collective knows its place. Whether it came from Orion or it came from even a completely different galaxy of unbelievable superpowers. A being such as us is here to serve the collective of the planet in the way that we may serve it best. And for that we must know our hearts. It is your heart that will allow you to serve best this world. It is your heart that will guide you through tough times, making sure you get enough love back from what you do to serve best this world. That is what the heart does. The heart and your body are your core for serving this world. And when you have a heart that is actually out there in service with the body, working for the world, then when you go up to these higher realms, you're not bringing like all this darkness that your mind is unable to conceive of, your body has no idea, maybe little idea of. Your heart knows a lot because it feels a lot from people we're related to. Blood of my blood. Feels a lot, especially if you're an empathic person, from people who we've met in situations that have been presented to us. I mean, there's war, there's addictions, there's sexual abuse, there's physical abuse, there's so much stuff that goes on. And even though it might not be going on in your life, and some of it on a small level or even a big level might be going on in your life, the heart's picking up on that, trying to figure out what pieces you might have that could work with that. If you're at fear, there's no chance. It's not happening. You gotta raise, you gotta do things you enjoy. Doing things you enjoy will erase the fear. The joy in the heart will just say, we'll play with the fear until the fear is gone. And then you can really start, if you really want to start, living the life that the spirit that chose your body put you in to create a mind through interactions with your family members and close neighbors and early childhood school buddies. And then that mind gets developed, and then that mind's working with the body that the spirit was put in. So the spirit's in the mind, the spirit's in the body, the spirit's in the heart, much more than most people understand, because it came through the heart before it got to the body. The heart, I think, is one of the first organs of the baby's body. The first thing they can find is that little thump, 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 thump. You think that's just random? Those are the most powerful neurological systems in our body. And they have to be, because they're our light. The heart is our light that will show us the way. And as no one really seemed to pick up on the Lunar Love Challenge, figure I'll hold off till the equinox to try to put it out again. But I would love some people who are motivated. I mean, if you are motivated, if you want to start getting this stuff in your life and start getting life, like motivated to do work that is going to cultivate a noble heart, powerful heart, a loving heart. I said noble first because nobility, spiritual nobility, must be obtained as you start working through the heart. And that comes from having to deal with all the crap at the bottom of your heart. If you need help dealing with that crap, well, hell, I've dealt with a whole lot of that. And if there's some of you out there who feel this, I can tell you, I am a master at dealing with psychological, physical, emotional crap. Physical being actual abuse, sexual abuse, probably goes psychological, physical, and emotional. So that's a pretty heavy one. But I've experienced all of these. And I have experience knowing that forget fearing them, forget resenting them, go through that tiny little phase if you have to. Start doing a few things you enjoy. Understand these people, you know, it may be, you know, what happened to them, what brought them there, what different world were they living in before the whole 50 years before 2012, and then the 12 years, 13 years of intensity after 2012, and then whatever's going to be coming after. I mean, so much change has really happened, we can't deny it. And we don't want to stop changing just because we thought it was going to be some instant change. Nothing in this universe is like that, except maybe on an atomic level. But if you shrunk down to the size of an atom, that would seem like hundreds of billions of years for those changes to take place. It's all in perspective. And nothing can change on a planet in a day. I mean, only morons were believing that. mean, it's obvious. Have we ever seen anything change on a planet in a day? No. If you can think of one, I'll likely put it down with a couple cross points, but I would love to hear one if you could think of one. Besides, like, maybe a leaf dying or a bug dying, those type of things don't count because that's a little being, tiny being, much tinier than you. I'm talking about the world. Things change in a world in a day. Where we're a tiny piece and that thing's massive, infinite. So, the whole point of this is I really want to I want to be in my world right now. And I don't really think I am. So I need your help. So I can get into my world and start creating my world as it should be, as it could be, as it will be. Because I know I have so much potential to offer the world, or the part of the world I wish and choose to enter. And I'm living now in a place I haven't chosen to enter, and nor do I very much wish to be here. And I want to help you guys find your worlds. Get the courage. See, if you need courage, it's just because you have too much fear. If you're not living in the world you're living in, that's like the 100%, this is like what I should be doing. And that's not saying, I mean, fears are like, oh, but if I do that, then what if I at one point don't have enough money for something? You know how many food drives there are in every town and city in America? Grocery stores, you can get, I mean, you could, the worst possible scenario, you could survive and be on the path doing what you love and end up within a few moons with probably so much more wealth than you would have ever imagined because you were on your path of love following your heart. Now, don't just go do that without serious counsel, because hearts are little known things to most humans. We're very mental beings. And even the mental physical humans still have lots of work to do to understand the heart. Now these mental, physical, emotional beings, I mean, are you like, you think you might love to do something, but then you fear 10 reasons of the mind that you shouldn't do it? So stay where you are and work on things you might like to do, enjoy to do, and start learning how to activate the heart before you just go out and think you can do what you love, because at this point your heart is small, your heart is dark. It's not the light that is going to attract to you everything you need and give you all the guidance you need. So you can stay where you are and work your heart and get that light and attract what you need and be guided to where you have to go. And I bet you 3, 6, 9 months of that, and you'd be in a place where you'd never imagine, just because you started doing things that you love to do even though you had no idea what the outcome of them would be. Just to do them. Just to do an action in love. And that's something you create personally. Again, you could get with groups of people if you share similar love, like whatever you're creating, and you do that, whatever type of experience you love, whether you're going snowboarding with a group of friends, you're going hiking, and you're still living and working and having your life that you're not so happy with, or maybe slightly happy with, but know there's way more out there for you. Keep that all going. Just start adding more and more and more. You'll meet more people, of course, and then those people will eventually meet you to more people, and that heart will start getting more activated, and things just start snowballing. And boom, all of a sudden you meet a really special person, and this person seems to have delivered a message to you, and you're like, wow, that's something I could really do and really love. And so you're working, but you start working with this person, and then all of a sudden, who knows what happens. But that's how it generally works out. Every single time I've followed my heart, I've followed it to the best experiences of my life. I mean, like, raising orphans in Peru, and then leaving the orphanage to go into the Amazon and study with curanderos, shamans, and meet up with a great friend. James brought us to permaculture projects. I'm learning astrology and how the astrology affects the plants. We're designing where trees go, where bushes go, where the nuts go, the corn goes, and helping set up these natives who had destroyed their wisdom of the forest with this massive self-supported forest of all sorts of food resources, just complete abundance. And then, you know, like taking people to temples, opening a meditation studio in Peru, and just like all these things that happen when you follow your heart. But don't think that the heart won't want to test you harder, because eventually everything's perfect and you didn't do some work in the past that had to be done. You blocked something out of your mind, some sort of thing, the reason why you ended up in a unfortunate, negative, depressing place in the first place. And so you can't just